You're welcome back. It's time to take a look at the stories making headlines this morning, and we'll be doing that with none other than a lecturer of the University of Lagos, Dr. Dan Ekere. Good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you.
We'll start off with the punch. Ononga Danjuma, other Christian leaders reject suspension. ACF, that's the ACF backs Buhari Consultative Forum. They're backing President Buhari. Appeal Court dismisses Ononga's request to stop CCT trial.
Wow. This Ononga issue has really generated so much hate, you know, and I think much of the issues that have been canvassed essentially against the remover has to do with process and timing. Well, for me, I really don't think that issue of trial time should really be an issue per se, but the way and manner they went about it perhaps is what raised the suspicion.
Yeah, you know what they say about perception.
Yes.
You know, perception.
You know,
is,
so
yeah,
that has really, you know, generated a lot of attention. But on the other hand, too, when you look at the issues, we are looking at a scenario in which everyone is above board, and the judiciary being a special arm of government. The expectation is that this should not be an issue that should ever raise its head with respect to a man of this, you know, class. I think that's really the issue. Otherwise, for now, all manner of intrigues will come in terms of trying to stop trial and all that. But these are usual things.
And it seems you know, the CJ, did I say CJN? The NJC seems to have, you know, come to the party a little belatedly, don't you think? I mean, they've given both gentlemen 7 days.
Yes, but that wasn't belated. It was when they were approached on their own. They did just step in.
They couldn't have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but beyond that, we also understand that they are trying to reach a political solution at the moment. There was a meeting between the vice president and ex-MBA chiefs, and at that meeting, quite a number of resolutions were reached. I don't know. We didn't have the time. I would have loved to ask our correspondent Celestina area if those terms have been transmitted to the and battle CJN's team. And one of them is that the CJN should resign or retire without cohesion. Government to withdraw all charges against him, and no molestation in any guise. And then acting CJN as well, Muhammad, would also have to quit, and NBA would also persuade Onohen to go. These were some of the, these are some of
the points that have, that have been canvassed. If only they can agree on that. For me, I don't see any problem. But then, are we saying that, was he actually guilty of the offense? You know, because, you know, the kind of system we practice, even when you see the man steal, you don't call him a guilty man. You don't call him a thief. Yes. So,
final arbiter.
Beautiful. So, if he had gone through the process, we can say Onogan did one thing or the other. You know, so, but well, whichever way they resolve it, the most important thing is that the fears about 2019 election they have to be allayed, because there has to be a free, fair, and credible election.
Moving on very quickly, Lagos tanker explosion kills 2, destroys property. The picture story here. I mean, if you are trying to, you know, imagine what hell looks like, this is good imagery for you right there. Very, very sad. The pregnant, you know, mother lost her life there. How do you begin to quantify the loss, both in human terms and, of course, material terms? So, unlike Buhari, Atiku will be president for all Nigerians. That's according to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. NBC set to sanction 4 TV stations over hate speech. EFCC files fraud charges against Babachir Lawal.
The case of Babachir Lawal. Well, from one of the reports I listened to yesterday, I understood that the vice president was saying that the president had given the EFCC the nod to
go ahead.
Yes. So can we then say that he has been the one holding them down, preventing them from doing that all this while? Do they need clearance from the president to do their job?
So you want to read meanings from what was not said?
It was what was said that I'm trying to, I'm trying to understand.
Okay.
To decipher, if you like.
Honestly, you know, because I expect that all these agencies should actually do their job without being prodded by anybody.
Well, to the bottom column of the Punch, man with 3 wives rapes daughter in Ogun. Very, very
We keep hearing this
troubling,
kind of
very,
terrible.
very
I don't, what is really what is happening?
These were things that were seen as a taboo.
What is going
I mean,
on?
when we were growing up.
Are they for rituals or what is it really?
And he had 3 wives. They're not enough.
The thing is becoming
Okay, INEC releases final list of governorship candidates and others today. Impeachment will do our job, Lagos Assembly tells pro-Ambode protesters.
Right, we're going to talk more about that later.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at the Nation's newspaper. And on the front page now, we talked about quite a number of things. But let's go to other stories now. EFCC, no, sorry, yeah, you talked about that already. Well,
just mentioned.
INEC, APC not eligible to field candidates in Zamfara. Well, INEC does appear to hold its stand.
For as long as the stand is within the law. There's nothing wrong with that for me. Yeah, but in any case, why would a party not, meet up with the required conditions to present a candidate? So, whatever it is, for as long as it's on the side of the law, I have no issues with that.
All right. You remember the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar was here in Lagos yesterday, and he has promised that there would be poll fraud commission.
Yeah, I listened to him suggesting something like that, It would have been a good idea that you actually have a body that is whose sole responsibility is to look out for such things. But then, before now, we've had pronouncements on those who came, to offices through the back door. And some were even asked to refund all that they got throughout the period they were there. I didn't get any follow-up to know whether those things were actually done or not. Perhaps what he's trying to suggest is to see that this kind of scenario is enforced. I think that would, to some extent, prevent all these, do-or-die arrangements, try to manipulate the system. And
Okay, to the Vanguard very quickly. Ononga's CCT trial must go on. Appeal court to hear suspended CJN's appeal February 4. To the extreme bottom column there, I'm not corrupt, Buhari declares. Oshomole accuses Atiku of working for foreign interests. Okay, our president says he's not corrupt. That's isn't that good enough to take to the bank?
Well, you can say anything by yourself, but like we earlier mentioned, the issue of perception is a different thing entirely. You might not, you see, we saw how somebody like Tai Solarin headed People's Bank.
Yes.
We were made to understand he didn't steal a kobo, but practically everything in People's Bank was stolen. But he's not corrupt. But all that were kept in his care were destroyed. So it's possible that you are not corrupt, but you could as well be surrounded by corrupt people and you are not prepared to stop them from, carrying out, such acts. So it goes beyond you as an individual per se, yeah.
EFCC files charges against ex-SGF Lawal. Okay, and why? 3 reasons I am backing Atiku, ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo talking there. And of course, my plan to get Nigeria working again. Well, they've all been telling their what they have to do for Nigerians. Hands off refineries. ICRC, Dangote tell federal government. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not always very comfortable with Dangote's, because wherever he goes, there seems not to be competition, or he's not disposed to. So to say hands off from though are the refiners actually working? Are they
well,
there?
they've been in government hands and they're not working. I mean,
so if they've not been working, are we saying that he wants to take them over and make them to work, or you want to collapse them for his own?
Well, I doubt if he was talking about himself, his own personal interest. He's saying government should totally hands off. Yeah,
no,
so
that hands off is not clear enough.
Private individuals, the private
sector.
So
it's as good as saying they should be sold. Or I think that was what somebody like Alhaji Atiku had even proposed.
That he's going to sell the NNPC. And people are wondering it to your friends.
All right, let's take a look at it this day now. Many of the stories still here on the front page of the This Day newspaper, but let's look at something else now. Obasanjo, why Atiku is a better candidate? Well, Obasanjo, as you know, of course, is conversing votes for his former president.
His former vice.
I beg your pardon. Former vice president, yes.
Yeah.
Well, So much
well,
for that
it's
now.
part of his job to do, isn't it?
We also hear
That
that
has been endorsing.
yes, we also hear that Rhodes Vivol may emerge new Chief Justice of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Well, let's wait to see what comes out of that.
Right. All right. Not very much on the front page of this day newspaper.
Okay, and we're done with the